Walmart just made thousands of your favorite products disappear forever. I'm talking about items that millions of people loved, bought every week, and now they're gone. And here's the kicker. Most shoppers have no idea this even happened. If you've been searching the aisles wondering where your go-to snack went or why that perfect breakfast you relied on vanished into thin air, this video has your answers. Here's what most people don't realize about Walmart. Every single year, they quietly pull hundreds of products from their shelves. Some disappear because companies shut down. Others get the axe because sales tank. And some, well, they're just too weird for the average shopper. But here's the thing that'll shock you. When Walmart says goodbye to a product, it's usually goodbye forever. These aren't temporary shortages. These are permanent deletions from your shopping list. Product 1. Progressive furniture. Here's a story that will shock you. Picture this. You're shopping for furniture at Walmart, looking at those affordable dressers and nightstands that fit your budget perfectly. The brand? Progressive Furniture. You think nothing of it. Just another furniture company, right? Wrong. What you didn't know is that you were witnessing the final chapter of a 40-year empire that's about to vanish forever by December 2025. Progressive Furniture isn't just discontinuing a few items. They're shutting down completely. Every single employee, all 30 of them, getting laid off. The company president, Dan Kendrick, had to make the heartbreaking announcement that broke decades of trust. But here's the part that'll make your jaw drop. This isn't just about business struggles. Progressive Furniture was the 7th largest furniture manufacturer in the entire world. They supplied giants like Walmart, Target, and Home Depot. How does a company this massive just disappear? The shocking truth? Their Mexican supplier, which provided 60% of their products, suddenly shut down after worker protests and government investigations. 300-plus employees protested in front of the facility. The government launched an investigation. Baja Wood, their main supplier, decided it wasn't worth the hassle and closed permanently. Then Trump's tariffs hit like a sledgehammer. 54% tariffs on Chinese imports. 25% on Mexican suppliers. Progressive Furniture found themselves trapped. No Mexican supplier, crushing tariffs on Asian alternatives, and rising costs everywhere. Kendrick said something chilling. If this was 6 months ago, or 6 months later, I don't know if we would have the same outcome. The timing was brutal. So, when you see those Progressive Furniture pieces still sitting in Walmart stores, you're looking at artifacts, collector's items, the last remnants of a furniture giant that got crushed between supply chain disasters and political tariff wars. By January 2026, finding a Progressive Furniture piece will be like finding buried treasure. Product 2. Thousands of beauty products. This is absolutely insane. Just 4 days ago, CNBC dropped a bombshell investigation that's rocking Walmart to its core. They discovered something so shocking about Walmart's beauty products that it'll change how you shop forever. Mary May, a 59-year-old mother, thought she scored a ridiculous sale on her favorite brain supplements on Walmart's website. She bought 8 bottles for herself and her sister. But when the packages arrived, she noticed something terrifying. Misspellings on the bottle, different packaging, everything looked wrong. Here's the nightmare part. Lab testing confirmed these were counterfeit supplements, not just ineffective, potentially dangerous, made with harmful ingredients that could make people seriously sick. But Mary's story isn't unique. CNBC bought and tested 20 beauty products from Walmart's marketplace. Every single one was fake. All 20. We're talking lipsticks, lotions, supplements, products that go on your skin or in your body. The most shocking discovery? CNBC found at least 43 sellers who had stolen the identities of legitimate businesses to sell counterfeits on Walmart.com. One victim, Elaine Damo, kept receiving mysterious packages at her business, returns from customers who thought they bought from her company. She never sold anything. Criminals were using her business name to sell fake products. The scale is staggering. In July 2025, Walmart was forced to pull thousands of beauty and personal care products overnight. Not dozens. Thousands. Sellers woke up to find their entire inventories deleted. One seller reported 1,766 compliance errors appearing overnight. The terrifying part? This happened because Walmart grew so fast, 45% revenue growth in 2024, that they loosened their seller requirements. Former employees revealed that during the pandemic, Walmart dropped crucial verification steps like phone calls and inventory checks just to get more sellers online faster. Now, you know why that lipstick or lotion you loved suddenly disappeared. It wasn't discontinued, it was dangerous. Product 3. White Stag clothing brand. This is the story of a fashion murder. White Stag wasn't just another clothing brand at Walmart. It was a 96-year-old icon with roots going back to 1929. This brand survived the Great Depression, World War II, and decades of fashion changes. But it couldn't survive Walmart's brutal 2018 brand massacre. Here's what makes this story heartbreaking. White Stag began in Portland, Oregon, making clothes for loggers and mill workers, real working people. The name comes from the founders' names translated to English. Weiss means white. Hirsch means stag. This wasn't some random corporate name, it was family heritage. By the 1970s, White Stag was everywhere. Department stores across America carried their fleece jackets, flannel shirts, and jeans. They pioneered affordable sportswear for entire families. Generations of Americans grew up wearing White Stag. Then Walmart bought the brand in 2003 and made it their flagship clothing line. For 15 years, White Stag was Walmart's clothing crown jewel. Loyal customers bought the same styles year after year, trusting the quality they'd known for decades. But 2018 changed everything. Walmart decided they needed modern brands to compete with Target and Amazon. They pulled 3 major brands from shelves: White Stag, Faded Glory, and Just My Size. The plan was to replace them with trendy new lines like Time and True and Terra and Sky. Here's the shocking twist. Faded Glory and Just My Size quietly returned to Walmart stores. They're back online and in stock. But White Stag? It vanished completely. Walmart essentially executed this heritage brand while sparing the others. Fashion historian Margaret Talbot said it perfectly. White Stag's wholesome, almost folksy Americana look fell out of step with consumer desires. Translation? Walmart killed an American classic because it wasn't Instagram-worthy. Today, finding White Stag at Walmart is impossible. You might find clearance pieces online, but the brand is effectively extinct. Loyal customers are still begging Walmart on social media to bring it back, but it's not happening. 96 years of heritage, gone. Product 4. Great Value Oats and Flax Oatmeal. This story starts in the cereal aisle, where health-conscious shoppers discovered what they thought was too good to be true. A breakfast that was actually good for you and affordable. The Great Value Organic Instant Oatmeal with Oats and Flax wasn't just another generic breakfast option. This was Walmart's accidental masterpiece, a product that proved the store could compete with premium health food brands. Here's what made this oatmeal special. While regular instant oatmeal is basically flavored cardboard, this version packed serious nutritional power. The flaxseed edition wasn't just a gimmick, it delivered plant-based protein, omega-3 fatty acids, and fiber that actually kept you full until lunch. According to research published in the journal Nutrients, flaxseed provides protective effects against cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. This wasn't just breakfast, it was preventive medicine in a packet. Customers quickly discovered what Walmart apparently didn't realize they had created. The earthy, nutty flavor from the flax made this oatmeal taste like something you'd get at an expensive health food store. People who normally hated oatmeal found themselves looking forward to breakfast. Parents finally had something healthy they could feed their kids without a fight. The online reviews tell the whole story. Customer after customer raved about how this simple breakfast changed their mornings. Finally, an oatmeal that doesn't taste like paste, wrote one reviewer. My cholesterol improved after eating this every day for 3 months, shared another. I bought cases of this stuff because I was afraid it would disappear, predicted one prescient shopper. And disappear it did. Without warning, without explanation, the Great Value Oats and Flax Oatmeal vanished from Walmart shelves. The discontinuation blindsided loyal customers who had made this part of their daily routine. Suddenly, people who had been eating the same breakfast for years found themselves staring at empty shelves. The aftermath has been brutal for customers who relied on this product. The closest alternative at Walmart now is Better Oats brand, which costs nearly twice as much and doesn't taste as good. Health-conscious shoppers on budgets have been forced to compromise either their wallets or their nutrition goals. What makes this discontinuation particularly cruel is the timing. We're living in an era where everyone's talking about healthy eating and preventive health care. People are desperately looking for affordable ways to improve their diets. Walmart had the perfect product for this moment, and they threw it away. The customer comments on social media are heartbreaking. "I've tried every store-brand oatmeal and nothing comes close," writes one former customer. "Why would they discontinue the one healthy breakfast option that didn't cost a fortune?" asks another. The answer, unfortunately, is that Walmart doesn't always recognize gold when they have it. Product 5. Great Value Red Tornado Soda. In the world of soda, there are drinks, and then there are drinks. Mountain Dew Code. Red falls into the latter category, a beverage so beloved that fans organize their grocery trips around sales and hoard cases during shortages. Walmart looked at this cult following and thought, "We can do this better and cheaper." Enter Red Tornado, Great Value's answer to Code Red that nobody asked for but everyone secretly loved. This wasn't Walmart's first rodeo with copycat sodas. Their strategy was brilliant in its simplicity. Identify the most popular flavors from big brands, reverse engineer them, and sell them at half the price. Red Tornado combined all the classic Mountain Dew DNA with that extra cherry kick that made Code Red special. Same caffeine buzz, same intense flavor, but with a price tag that didn't make you question your life choices. What happened next surprised everyone, including Walmart. Red Tornado developed its own loyal following. These weren't just people settling for a cheaper alternative. They were customers who genuinely preferred the Great Value version. Some claimed it had a cleaner cherry flavor. Others insisted it was less artificially sweet. A few diehard fans even argued it had the perfect carbonation level that Code Red never quite achieved. The Reddit threads dedicated to Red Tornado were surprisingly passionate. Users would post photos of their stockpiles, share store locations that still had inventory, and debate whether Red Tornado was superior to the original. One user wrote, "I converted my entire family to Red Tornado. We saved probably $200 a year and actually liked it better." Another shared, "My convenience store stopped carrying Code Red, but I didn't care because Red Tornado was my new favorite anyway." Then, without fanfare or explanation, Red Tornado disappeared. No announcement, no final sale, no heads up for loyal customers. People walked into Walmart expecting their usual soda run and found empty spaces where Red Tornado used to live. The discovery posts on social media were immediate and confused. Is Red Tornado discontinued? Why can't I find Red Tornado anymore? Did Walmart stop making Red Tornado? The aftermath revealed just how many people had unknowingly become dependent on this knockoff soda. Customers who had switched to save money suddenly found themselves paying full price for Code Red again. Families who had built Red Tornado into their weekly shopping routines had to adjust their budgets. Some people even started driving to multiple Walmart locations, hoping to find remaining inventory. What makes this discontinuation particularly frustrating is the timing. The energy drink market is exploding, and customers are more price-conscious than ever. Red Tornado filled a perfect niche, delivering the flavor experience people wanted at a price they could actually afford. By discontinuing it, Walmart essentially gifted those customers back to PepsiCo and their premium-priced Code Red. Industry watchers suggest Red Tornado might have been a victim of licensing issues or supplier problems, but customers don't care about corporate politics. They just want their affordable cherry soda back. Unfortunately for Red Tornado fans, when Walmart discontinues a great value product, it rarely returns. That discount cherry soda experience, it's gone forever. Product 6. Great Value Jalapeno Cheese Puffs. Sometimes a snack comes along that's so perfect, so absolutely addictive, that its discontinuation feels like a personal attack. That's exactly what happened with great value jalapeno cheese puffs, a product so beloved that customers are still campaigning for its return years after it disappeared. This isn't just nostalgia talking, this was genuinely one of the best spicy snacks ever created. Let me paint you a picture of what made these puffs special. Imagine the satisfying crunch of a quality cheese puff, but instead of bland cheddar flavor, you get hit with the perfect balance of creamy cheese and jalapeno heat. Not the fake chemical burn you get from most spicy snacks, but real jalapeno flavor that built slowly and left you reaching for another handful before you'd even finish chewing. The customer reviews from 2019 to 2021 read like love letters to a discontinued food. Absolutely addictive was the most common description. One customer wrote, "These had just the right combination of crunch and heat. I couldn't stop eating them." Another reviewer called them the bomb and claimed they bought multiple bags every shopping trip. But perhaps the most telling review came from a customer who said, "These are the only truly spicy Cheez-It option on the market. The regular hot and spicy aren't hot or spicy." That last comment reveals something important about the snack food landscape. Major brands like Cheetos and Hare's have successful jalapeno-flavored products, but most of them play it safe with the heat level. Walmart's version didn't hold back. They understood that people who want spicy snacks actually want to feel some burn, not just a hint of pepper flavor. The discontinuation hit the online snack community hard. Reddit threads dedicated to finding alternatives popped up regularly. "It blows my mind that they would discontinue these, but keep the ranch and cheddar grooves," complained one frustrated customer. Others shared stories of hoarding bags when they sensed the end was coming. Some people even called Walmart corporate directly asking for the product's return. What makes this story even more infuriating is that Great Value clearly had the recipe and manufacturing capability to create something special. This wasn't a case of a product that didn't sell. The customer reviews and ongoing demand prove there was a market. This wasn't a case of quality issues. People loved the taste and texture. This was simply a corporate decision that prioritized shelf space over customer satisfaction. The jalapeno cheese puff market didn't disappear when Walmart discontinued their version. Customers just started paying more for inferior products from other brands. Some switched to Cheetos Flamin' Hot, but complained it was too artificial. Others tried various Hare's flavors, but found them not spicy enough. A few customers reported driving to different stores looking for any brand that could replicate that perfect Great Value combination of cheese and heat. The most heartbreaking part of this story is how easily Walmart could fix it. They have the Great Value brand infrastructure, they have the shelf space, and they clearly have customers waiting to buy. Bringing back jalapeno cheese puffs would be a guaranteed win that would generate immediate sales and customer goodwill. But instead, they've left that shelf space to less popular flavors, while customers beg for their favorite snack to return. Product 7. Great Value. Tropicals, prepare yourself for the most polarizing product story in Walmart history. Great Value Tropicals were either the most disgusting thing ever created or a misunderstood masterpiece, depending on who you ask. But before you make that face, let me tell you why this bizarre product deserved better than the quick death it received. First, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, Tropicals were pickles soaked in fruit punch. The smell was so intense, you could detect it from across the kitchen the moment someone opened the jar. The bright pink color looked like something from a science experiment. And the taste? Well, that's where things get complicated. Critics were brutal in their reviews. The smell alone was enough to turn people away before they even tasted them. Food bloggers described the aroma as overwhelming and unnatural. Some reviewers claimed they couldn't get past the visual of pink pickles floating in equally pink juice. One particularly harsh review said, "These belong in a Dare Challenge video, not on grocery store shelves." But here's what the critics missed. Walmart wasn't trying to create something new. They were bringing a traditional Southern delicacy to mainstream retail. Pickles soaked in fruit punch, often called Kool-Aid pickles in the South, have been a beloved treat at county fairs, corner stores, and family gatherings for generations. Kids grow up loving them. Adults get nostalgic about them. They're part of Southern food culture. The timing seemed perfect when Walmart launched Tropicals in July 2017. Pickles were having a moment as an offbeat snack trend. Pickle pops were becoming popular. Pickle-flavored everything was showing up in stores. Weird food combinations were going viral on social media. If there was ever a time for mainstream America to embrace fruit punch pickles, this was it. What Walmart underestimated was the power of regional food preferences. What's comfort food in Mississippi might seem disgusting in Minnesota. What's nostalgic in Alabama could be shocking in Oregon. Tropicals needed a targeted marketing campaign that explained the cultural context, not a generic grocery store launch that left people confused and unprepared. The product lasted longer than you might expect, nearly 2 years on shelves. This suggests there was enough of a customer base to justify continued production. Sales data from that period would be fascinating to see. Were Tropicals primarily selling in southern states? Were they popular with specific age groups? Did online sales differ from in-store purchases? Unfortunately, we'll never know the full story because Walmart pulled Tropicals without much explanation. The product simply disappeared from shelves, leaving both fans and haters wondering what happened. The discontinuation sparked discussions on social media about regional food preferences and whether chain retailers should take risks on culturally specific products. Looking back, Tropicals represented something important, a willingness to experiment with authentic regional flavors instead of playing it safe with generic options. Yes, they were weird. Yes, they weren't for everyone. But in a world of increasingly homogenized food options, there was something refreshing about a major retailer saying, "Let's try something different." Product 8. Jif Power-Ups. In the health food world, protein is king. Walk into any grocery store and you'll find an entire aisle dedicated to protein bars, protein shakes, protein everything. Americans are obsessed with getting enough protein, especially busy people who need convenient snacking options. So when Jif created Power-Ups, a snack that delivered 6 grams of protein in a portable, tasty format, it seemed like a guaranteed winner, which makes Walmart's decision to discontinue them absolutely baffling. Jif Power-Ups weren't just another protein bar trying to disguise cardboard taste with chocolate coating. These came in 2 distinctive formats that actually tasted good: creamy clusters and chewy granola bar versions. The creamy clusters were like elevated trail mix, peanut butter-coated pieces that delivered protein without the artificial aftertaste that plagues most protein snacks. The chewy granola bars offered the familiar texture people expected, but with real peanut butter flavor that made them feel more like a treat than a supplement. The target market was perfect for Walmart's customer base: busy parents, working professionals, students, athletes, and anyone trying to maintain energy levels throughout the day. 6 grams of protein might not sound like much compared to dedicated protein bars, but it was significant enough to matter nutritionally while remaining accessible to people who weren't hardcore fitness enthusiasts. Customer reviews revealed how well these products fit into real people's lives. Parents packed them in kids' lunchboxes as a healthier alternative to typical snack foods. Office workers kept them in desk drawers for afternoon energy slumps. Gym goers used them as pre-workout fuel that didn't require a commitment to chalky protein powder. College students appreciated having a protein source that didn't break their budgets. What made the discontinuation particularly shocking was the context. This happened during a massive boom in the protein snack market. Companies like Quest, Kind, and RX Bar were building entire businesses around convenient protein delivery. The market was clearly there, the demand was proven, and customers were willing to pay premium prices for products that delivered protein in tasty formats. Jif had significant advantages in this space that other companies couldn't match. Brand recognition was huge. People trust Jif for peanut butter products. Manufacturing capability meant they could produce at scale. Distribution through Walmart gave them access to millions of potential customers. They had everything needed for success in the protein snack category. The discontinuation left customers genuinely confused and frustrated. Social media filled with questions about where to find Power-Ups and why they were no longer available. Some customers tried switching to other Jif products, but nothing else in the line offered the same convenient protein delivery. Others moved to competing brands, but complained about higher prices and inferior taste. From a business perspective, the discontinuation makes no sense. The protein snack market continues to grow. Walmart customers are increasingly health conscious. Convenient, affordable protein sources are in higher demand than ever. Jif Power-Ups seemed perfectly positioned to capture a significant share of this market. Industry insiders suggest the discontinuation might have been related to production costs, shelf space priorities, or internal politics at either Jif or Walmart. But for customers who relied on Power-Ups as part of their daily routine, corporate explanations don't matter. They just want their convenient, tasty protein source back. Product 9. Frutopia. Close your eyes and travel back to the 1990s. Grunge music is on the radio, everyone's wearing flannel, and Coca-Cola has just launched the most psychedelic beverage in corporate history. Frutopia wasn't just a drink. It was an experience, a lifestyle, a liquid embodiment of 90s optimism wrapped in flavors like strawberry passion awareness and citrus consciousness. For an entire generation, Frutopia defined what it meant to be young, weird, and unapologetically different. The marketing campaign was unlike anything the beverage industry had seen. Instead of celebrity endorsements or sports tie-ins, Frutopia embraced pure artistic expression. The commercials looked like animated music videos, full of swirling colors, abstract imagery, and philosophical messaging that somehow made perfect sense when you were consuming liquid sugar. The bottle design itself was art, organic shapes, and vibrant colors that looked more like they belonged in a gallery than a gas station cooler. But here's what separated Frutopia from other novelty beverages. It actually tasted incredible. This wasn't just clever marketing covering up mediocre flavor. Each variety delivered complex, layered taste experiences that lived up to their mystical names. Strawberry passion awareness genuinely tasted like summer romance. Citrus consciousness delivered an enlightening burst of multiple citrus flavors that danced on your tongue. Kids and teenagers didn't just drink Frutopia. They collected the different flavors like trading cards. The cultural impact extended far beyond beverage sales. Frutopia became a symbol of 90s alternative culture. It appeared in movies, TV shows, and music videos. Artists referenced it in lyrics. Fashion designers drew inspiration from its aesthetic. For a brief moment, a soft drink achieved something approaching cultural immortality. Then reality set in. The 90s ended, tastes changed, and mainstream America moved on to other trends. But Frutopia survived, finding a loyal niche audience that kept the brand alive into the 2000s and beyond. Walmart became one of the last major retailers where you could reliably find Frutopia, turning their beverage aisle into a nostalgia destination for millennials and Gen Xers. The pandemic changed everything. When COVID-19 disrupted supply chains worldwide, Coca-Cola faced an aluminum shortage that forced difficult decisions about which products to continue producing. In a triage situation, Frutopia didn't make the cut. The company had to prioritize their biggest sellers, Coke, Sprite, Fanta, while sacrificing niche products that served smaller audiences. The announcement hit the online community hard. Reddit threads exploded with memories and mourning. "I drank so much of that as a kid," wrote one user, perfectly capturing the collective sentiment. In retrospect, that was a lot of sugar, they continued, acknowledging the health reality while still missing the taste experience. What makes Frutopia's death particularly tragic is how completely it disappeared. This wasn't a gradual phase-out or regional reduction. It was a global execution. Countries that still had inventory quickly sold through their remaining stock. Specialty beverage stores that carried vintage sodas couldn't get new shipments. Online retailers watched their prices skyrocket as remaining bottles became collectors' items. The cultural loss extends beyond individual nostalgia. Frutopia represented a time when major corporations were willing to take creative risks, when beverage companies prioritized artistic expression alongside profit margins. In today's focus-grouped, market-researched corporate landscape, it's impossible to imagine a major brand launching something as weird and wonderful as Frutopia. Product 10. 3D Doritos. In the Snack Food Hall of Fame, few products have achieved the legendary status of 3D Doritos. These weren't just chips, they were an engineering marvel that redefined what a corn snack could be. While regular Doritos sat flat in your mouth, 3D Doritos exploded with texture, flavor, and pure snacking satisfaction that has never been replicated. Their disappearance from Walmart shelves represents one of the greatest tragedies in modern snack food history. The genius of 3D Doritos lay in their revolutionary design. Instead of traditional flat triangles, these were puffed into hollow, three-dimensional shapes that resembled tiny flavor pyramids. This wasn't just a gimmick. The 3D structure created more surface area for seasoning adhesion, which meant every bite delivered an intense flavor explosion that flat chips simply couldn't match. When you bit down, the satisfying crunch released concentrated bursts of cheese, nacho, or jalapeno that coated your entire mouth. The texture experience was transformative. Regular chips provide a simple crunch, and then they're gone. 3D Doritos offered a complex eating journey. First, the initial crunch as your teeth broke through the outer shell, then the secondary crunch as the hollow interior collapsed, creating multiple texture phases in a single bite. It was like having a percussion section in your mouth. The flavor varieties were legendary. Nacho cheese delivered the classic Doritos experience, but amplified through the 3D structure. Jalapeno cheddar brought serious heat that built with each handful, but the real showstopper was zesty ranch, a flavor combination so perfect that customers would drive to multiple stores when their local Walmart ran out of stock. What made 3D Doritos particularly special at Walmart was their positioning as a premium snack at a reasonable price. While other stores treated them as specialty items with premium pricing, Walmart made them accessible to everyone. Families could afford to buy them regularly, rather than saving them for special occasions. Kids could pack them in school lunches without parents worrying about the cost. The discontinuation was gradual and painful to watch. First, certain flavors disappeared. Then, availability became sporadic. You'd find them one week and not the next. Finally, they vanished entirely, leaving behind empty shelf space and confused customers. The online forums dedicated to finding remaining inventory became increasingly desperate as people realized this wasn't a temporary shortage. Doritos has attempted comebacks over the years, including a brief revival in 2020, but they never returned to Walmart shelves with the same consistency or variety that made them special. The revivals were limited-time offers that teased longtime fans without delivering the sustained availability that would allow new customers to discover them. The legacy of 3D Doritos lives on in the countless online discussions about discontinued snack foods. They've achieved mythical status among snack enthusiasts, with vintage bags selling for ridiculous prices on auction sites. Food bloggers regularly include them in lists of snacks we need back, and social media campaigns periodically attempt to pressure Frito-Lay into permanent reintroduction. What makes their absence particularly frustrating is how perfectly they would fit into today's snacking landscape. The texture experience would be perfect for social media content. The intense flavors would appeal to the current trend toward bold, extreme taste profiles. The nostalgic appeal would drive both millennial parents and curious Gen Z consumers to try them. Product 11. Oreo O's cereal. Imagine waking up as a kid and discovering that your favorite cookie had transformed into breakfast cereal. That was the magic of Oreo O's when they launched in 1997, a product so obviously brilliant that it seemed impossible it could ever disappear. Yet disappear it did, taking with it one of the most beloved breakfast experiences in modern food history. Oreo O's wasn't just cereal shaped like cookies. It was an authentic translation of the Oreo experience into breakfast form. Each piece looked like a tiny Oreo cookie, complete with the distinctive embossed pattern. When you poured milk over them, something magical happened. The cereal maintained its crunch longer than most breakfast options, but gradually released chocolatey flavor that turned the milk into something resembling cookies and cream ice cream base. The launch was a cultural phenomenon. Kids begged their parents to buy it. Grocery stores couldn't keep it in stock. The combination of familiar Oreo branding with the excitement of a new cereal format created perfect storm of demand. Parents who normally restricted sugary cereals found themselves making exceptions because Well, it was Oreos. Somehow, the cookie format made it feel less like candy for breakfast. What separated Oreo O's from other novelty cereals was the quality of execution. Many cookie-to-cereal translations taste nothing like their inspiration. Oreo O's actually delivered on the flavor promise. The chocolate cookie taste was authentic, the sweetness was balanced, and the milk chocolate combination created a breakfast experience that rivaled the original cookie dunking ritual. The cereal developed a multi-generational fan base that went beyond typical breakfast food loyalty. Parents who grew up with Oreos introduced their kids to Oreo O's, creating shared breakfast experiences that bonded families around the kitchen table. College students made it a dorm room staple, proving that cereal marketing to kids could create lasting adult customers. Then, 2004 arrived like a breakfast apocalypse. After 7 successful years, Oreo O's vanished from American shelves. The official reasons were never entirely clear. Some reports suggested licensing issues between Post Cereals and Nabisco. Others pointed to changing consumer preferences or production costs. Whatever the corporate explanation, millions of loyal customers found themselves facing a breakfast landscape that suddenly felt incomplete. The international twist in this story makes the loss even more painful. Oreo O's didn't disappear globally. It continued production and distribution in South Korea, where it remains available today. This means the recipe exists, the manufacturing process works, and there's proven ongoing demand. American fans can technically order it online from Korean retailers, but the shipping costs and import complications make it prohibitively expensive for regular consumption. Social media has kept the Oreo O's memory alive with periodic campaigns demanding its return. Facebook groups dedicated to discontinued cereals regularly feature posts about Oreo O's, with members sharing photos of vintage boxes and memories of breakfast experiences. Twitter campaigns using hashtags like #BringBackOreoOs surface regularly, often gaining thousands of participants, but never quite reaching the critical mass needed to influence corporate decisions. The cereal aisle at Walmart now features dozens of options, including several Oreo-flavored products, but none capture what made Oreo O's special. Oreo Cakesters cereal exists, but tastes nothing like the original cookies. Various chocolate cereals attempt to fill the niche, but lack the authentic Oreo flavor profile that made the original special. What makes this discontinuation particularly cruel is timing. We're living in peak nostalgia culture, where 90s and 2000s products are being revived regularly. The cereal market is more diverse than ever, with room for niche products that serve specific audiences. Adult millennials now have buying power and are actively seeking products that connect them to childhood experiences. Oreo O's would be perfectly positioned for successful relaunch. The business case for bringing back Oreo O's is compelling. The Oreo brand is stronger than ever, with new flavor varieties launching regularly. The breakfast cereal market continues to evolve, with consumers increasingly open to indulgent options. Walmart's customer base includes millions of people who remember and miss Oreo O's, creating built-in demand for reintroduction. Yet it remains absent, available only in our memories and on South Korean grocery shelves. Every time someone opens a package of regular Oreos and dunks them in milk, there's a moment of nostalgia for when that experience was available in convenient cereal form. Oreo O's represents not just a discontinued product, but a lost breakfast ritual that connected families, satisfied cravings, and made mornings a little more magical. So there you have it, 11 products that Walmart decided we don't deserve anymore. From healthy breakfast options to nostalgic snacks, these discontinuations show just how quickly your favorites can disappear. Here's the harsh reality. When Walmart discontinues something, it's almost never coming back. They've got the data, they've made their choice, and they're moving on to the next trend. The worst part? Most of these products had loyal customers who would have kept buying them for years. But in the world of big box retail, loyalty doesn't always matter. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me. What discontinued Walmart product do you miss the most? Are you still searching the aisles for something that's never coming back? And if this video saved you from wasting time looking for products that don't exist anymore, smash that subscribe button. I'm constantly tracking these retail changes so you don't have to. Trust me, there are more discontinued products coming in 2025. You'll want to be ready.